Victor, you said I's got a lead?
We analysed the gear Poe collected from Tails' chopper. Spectral analysis detected an unusual mix of mineral and radioactive residue on the casing. Eyes?
Commencing briefing. Operation Polygon.
We cross-referenced the residue against nuclear test sites and mineral deposits worldwide, and we got one hit. The ex-Soviet nuclear testing facility Semipalatinsk, not far from Semi itself.
It never had missile launching capabilities, so perhaps it's just another Opus foothold. Or maybe it's where they're housing the slam.
No activity observed at the outpost for over 60 years. IR scans for infrared movement show nothing.
In fact, every deployment on this operation has been blind. Like our satellites just don't work.
Also explains why the Cradle deployment team have been shite.
Looks like you'll be going in blind again. Get in there and find that slam.
Deploying Espire. Deploying Espire.
Something's disrupted the insertion drone. Couldn't get any closer than this. Hopefully we can get the slam's launch location here.
You'll have to do some bouldering, Poe.
Update on ISA's directives? What happened with Loeb?
ICE is developing at such an exponential rate I can't work out what's mine and what's self-learned behaviour. But I know that I forbid it from planning kills without a human on the loop. Someone must be tampering with her. Clearly aren't using that antenna for anything. Wonder what caused it to drop.
Neglect, most likely. Nobody's been here for 60 years. Well, so we thought.
Security enemy communications.
1600. May 23, 2036. Commencing. Experimenter 331. Hypothesis. The latest strain of Agent NMK26 will prevent overproduction of TNF alpha in subjects.
Ice has gotten into their comms. It's Tox, one of Opus's commanders. They must be handling production of the Namicon virus.
Then we're on the right track. Poe, investigate the hangar ahead.
team inbound.
All units, stay vigilant. Espire is still out there. Return to your posts and remain on high alert.
Extreme caution advised.
That's the slam. Well, an original. Must be as old as the base.
They've got dummy warheads too.
Time to learn more about if Cinder's hand cams can scan that test model.
To activate the hand cams, reach your arm forward and hold the trigger.
How did eyes learn to do that? Thanks to its nuclear-powered ramjets.
So it'll loop the world over and over. If Ophis pulls this off, we can kiss everything goodbye.
To activate the hand cams, reach your arm forward and hold the trigger. Magazine depleted. Repairs complete.
hot. Wait. Eyes has something.
Hostiles inbound.
Receiving patrol. Anyone else got anything?
Attention all units. We have a critical security.
Team inbound. Strike team inbound.
Don't lose Espire. Hunt them down.
We know you're out here somewhere, Espire. You don't get to walk away from this.
All personnel, we are lifting the alert. Return to your posts.
test model. Keep it up.
uncover where the slam is launching. Tox might know more. Closing on Tox's location. If it's halfway like any other chemical weapon site, steel yourself.
May 23, 2036, commencing experiment.
Communications severed.
Something's not right. Eyes open.
Camera feed disconnected. Hostile inbound.
Patrol, we've lost the camera feed. Investigate and report back.
Feed disconnected. Hostile inbound.
Personnel, we've lost CCTV in your area. Proceed with caution and report back. Command to patrol. We need lights back on in your sector. Head to the breaker switch and report back.
Damage repaired.
Whoa. Someone was here before us.
Stay frosty. To shreds.
Surface damage and casings match OFAS ballistics. Probability, infiltrator units ahead.
OFAS attacked their own base? It's Loeb. My God.
She only died recently. It was the virus. The strain is fatal. Be careful. Looks like the virus in Loeb persists.
That room in the middle of the lab, that looks like Tox. Get in there and interrogate them.
Defender repaired.
They got to Tox too.
Good riddance, I say. Poe, access Tox's terminal. That viral sequence will give us a head start on finding an antigen.
Strain KZP
Bypassing
and
enemy
17
systems.
shows us substantially.
Weapons locked.
Poe, stand down!
That wasn't a blackout. It was... Oh, man alive. I think I know what's happening.
Dictor?
It's eyes. I'll explain later. Enemies incoming.
We have reports of a situation.
Infiltrators wear low-res optical camo to hide from the naked eye. Use Espire vision to spot the bastards.
What's that? What's happened? HQ, we've got a hostile using lethal force.
All units, we have hostiles in the area.
Strike team inbound.
All personnel, we are investigating a security breach. All units on high alert.
Let's do this. Cover me.
Oh,
Dictor, what is Eyes doing to Poe?
She's taking full control of Espire.
All units,
Is she trying to emulate Poe? How did I miss this?
It broke the laptop. Eyes thought the viral sequence was a threat.
Espire operative. Mission progress saved.
the other room. Should open up the area.
Initiating data transfer.
Data coming in.
Tox's new strain will instantly kill anyone who breathes it in. They're trying to get it into the slam. That's not why we made this virus. It goes against everything we stand for. I can't afford this plan falling apart. They have to go. Just like Loeb.
Bwahh was on the warpath, and now she's out of allies.
Doors open. Keep moving. Eyes will parse the rest of the intel.
Hey, who's there?
Infiltrators detected. Activate Espire vision to ascertain enemy locations.
Don't let them pen you in.
The data feed's active. They're watching us again. They must have patched out the recording signal.
Baker and I developed Espire to save lives. Now it's a circus act for fat cats.
We can't stop them, Colonel, but we can stop Opus. Focus on that.
eliminate the intruder. Units, the unidentified hostile remains at large. Return to your posts and remain on high alert. sight
Trip
of the
mine
enemy.
activated.
Sweep the area and
Hostile
eliminate
inbound.
any intruders.
Repairs complete.
All units, we've lost sight of the enemy. Return to your posts and remain on high alert.
Camera feed disconnected. Hostile inbound.
Delta team, a camera appears to be down. Please confirm.
I don't believe it. We just got ourselves a golden ticket to the slam.
What? The data transfer pulled something?
Paul must have trusted Tux at some point. She sent them coordinates inside an encrypted message. Coordinates for the Slam's launch base. Looks like we're going to Greenland.
Great work. I'll get the director to contact Danish Defence. They can warm the place up for us. Cross the helipad and head back into the canyons for extraction.
Attention all personnel. We have reports of a security
Strike
breach.
team inbound.
Hunting down the culprit. All available units, we have a situation at hand. Remain on high alert and investigate any suspicious activity.
Careful. Fire! Unknown location. Everyone, watch your six. Search formation team. Somewhere, Espire.
Present forces, we have lost sight of Espire. HQ is lifting the alert. Stay on guard. All units, we have signs of an intruder. Enter search and destroy formations. Affirmative. Resume patrol. All units, the unidentified hostile remains at large. Attention all personnel. We have reports of a security
Strike
breach.
team
Hunting
inbound.
down the culprit. All units, we're calling off the search. Return to your posts and remain on high alert. All personnel, we are investigating a security breach. All units on high alert. All units, return to your posts and remain on high alert.
Strike team inbound.
Suspicious activity.
Everyone, watch your six. Eyes high, fire at
Magazine depleted.
Return to your posts and remain on high alert.
See that?
Cinder repaired.
Skyhook.
It's high time we talk to the director about eyes. You'd better have some answers. Well done, Poe. We're one step closer to stopping Ophus's plans.
Commencing debriefing. Operation Polygon. Commencing debriefing.
Well
Operation
done.
Polygon.
Tomorrow morning, well done. Danish defense will wipe Tomorrow morning, Danish defense will wipe Ophus's Greenland base and the slam.
So, Director, Just how long have you been tampering with my AI? Just how long have you
It was
been
doing
tampering
such
with my
great
AI?
work. I ordered our people to loosen its shackles a little. I ordered our people to
So
loosen
eyes
its
can now
shackles.
disconnect Poe whenever it feels like it? Can now disconnect Poe whenever it feels like it? Critical functions rely on Espire. Poe's critical functions rely on Espire.
But Ophis, I going to wipe us. All Ophis are going to wipe us. We need Poe awake and eyes at its best to face any threat. And eyes at its best.
This isn't why we founded the Espire program. To turn soldiers into slaves. Program. To turn soldiers
exists
into
for whatever
slaves.
Foster Lakram needs. Program exists for just like Foster Lakram needs.
Eyes wasn't built
like
to take
eyes.
operatives out the loop, director, to take or to hurt them. The loop, director.
Likelihood of insubordination, 95%. Likelihood of insubordination,
Interesting
95%.
calculation.
Zip it.
Colonel, interesting calculation. Eyes. Eyes won't be needing after this operation. Eyes won't be needing. You'll be stripped of all access to the Espire program. Understood? Espire program.
What? You
Understood.
can't do that. What?
I've given
You
everything
can't
to
do
this
that.
program. I lost an arm and a leg for it. You can't just cut us off. arm and a leg
Eyes.
for it. You can't just
To the primary
cut us off.
operators. Eyes. Let the primary operators.
Stop! You're disrupting Poe's vitals. Stop!
Leave
You're
them out of
disrupting
this.
Poe's vitals.
Leave them out of this.
Welcome, Operative.